Welcome back to another battle report, folks. Today we are playing the new Bridgehead mission, which is kind of like the replacement for Surrounded, I think. Brian is defending in this case, so he's pushed on into what we've depicted here as like Germany 1945, just war-torn craters, ruined factories, marshalling yards, all those kind of things. And he's defending with US glider infantry, and I'm attacking with reluctant trained Panzers. This is a Panzer Brigade from Blood, Guts and Glory. I'll go over my list first. It's got 2 Panthers as a company HQ, 2 platoons of 3 Panthers, a platoon of 4 mobile wagons, and I've Clarion's platoon, which is 1 base on every half track, and each base is an MG base with Panzer Fausts, and then 2 platoons of 3 Stugs. But everything is reluctant trained, and that's about the full extent of the options on the list as well. They don't get any real options for anything at all. Now, Brian, what have you got on your list? And what's on and what's off?
So it's a 1750 list that we're playing, and I've gone for a kind of mixed list just to try the different options with planes and tanks and everything. So on the table at the moment, on my list has got the standard HQ. It's got 2 glider rifle platoons, 1 on the table, full strength with some swap out to bazookas, 1 in scattered reserve off the table. It's got a machine gun platoon, but in Americans, got to add in the bazookas, and a full strength mortar platoon to lay down some smoke where required. And in ambush, it's got an anti-tank gun platoon, 3 guns with 3 bazookas to support that. I've got a plane. I've just gone for the 150 point option on the plane to see the plane with the changing rules comes on against some of the tanks here as well. And the last 2 units I've got in reserve, because I've pushed on to Germany, the gliders are waiting for the tanks to arrive. I've got a small 4 tank platoon with 2 76s, a jumbo and a normal 75mm, and I've got 3 priests to come on as well. So basically I'm digging in, waiting for my armoured support to come up, but I've called in a hell of a plane to take on some of these tanks, so we're waiting for the battle to ensue. Also, yes, I've got, because of the mission, I've got 2 minefields as well. You get a minefield for every 750 points. I've got 2 minefields. So I've deployed 1 to try and protect my flank, because I've got an open flank on this side, and 1 just to try and protect a little bit of a gap through the shattered town as well. So 2 minefields deployed in my deployment zone, which is quite tight at the moment. So I've really gone to the ground, dug in, waiting for the attack to come.
It's quite a good deployment zone for an infantry list like this. You don't have to get up too much and move about. But you can see it in this mission, the German deployment zone is like a big U-shaped, all the way around the edges of the table. But I've decided to come in here because of the scattered reserve rules. His tanks would come right onto my flank. They can come up to 16 inches on the corner, depending on what Brian rolls. So I'm going to be playing it cagey to begin with. Though it's going to be cross-check, nightmare all the way through here. And then with the new victory conditions, I've got to be within 8 inches off an objective by the start of Brian's turn 6 at the very, very least. Otherwise, defender wins. So there's only one place where that's possible without getting right in his face, and it's down here. But that's not going to win me the game, going over a minefield. So it's some new challenges. The plane will be more effective at anti-tank 4 in its bombardment, and the victory conditions will hopefully test the attacker more, and we'll see how a bunch of reluctant trained 3 tank platoons survive. So we're back at the end of turn 1. At the end of German turn 1, it's really just been move up. There was some blitz moves attempted to try and move on a bit. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. There were some failed cross checks, so with the Stugs, one with a Panther. But you can see you're just moving up through this railway line, which is, it counts as terrain, but it at least doesn't have a lot of cross checks. Then I've got to try and push myself up through here. No idea what I'm doing, to be honest. And these guys are hanging back to provide some anti-aircraft cover. These half tracks as well have got anti-aircraft MGs on them, so they can provide a bit of cover over here, but we'll see the Americans are going to start rolling for reserves, and we can see if the plane turns up. There was, sorry, a tiny bit of shooting, but they needed a lot to hit, so nothing hit.
Okay, so the end of American turn 1, I rolled for reserves first of all, because I started rolling from turn 1, got no reserves, so it's just the list that started the game on the table. I didn't want to do any movement, because I'm dug in waiting for the attack to come to me from this lot. The movement kind of comes from the reserves when they come on. So I did then roll for a plane and managed to get a plane on. Just see how the change in the rules now affect the planes now. So I brought the plane on to attack this nice little group of tanks coming up here. Panthers were a good target, but too many of these mobile wagons have been taken out of the sky, so I managed to get my plane in. I think you had 3 shots at me, but I managed to make my saves.
All the aircraft, anti-aircraft for the half-tracks fired, but incidentally that means they cannot fire next turn.
Yeah.
They all fired, got a few hits. There were some failed saves, some made saves, but they're only firepower 6, so we were fine.
Yeah. So I used the template from the bombs, and obviously because we're near a building it's a +1 to hit, because of the tall terrain in there. But as you can see, I managed to get under the template these 6 Stooks in the first 2 half-tracks, making the saves and the hits. I managed to kill 2 tanks at the front and bailed out 1 at the back. So the planes look like they've got some of their fighting power back in again.
Most importantly, if that had been the old rules, you would have just had 2 bailed tanks, which is not really effective.
So it looks like the proposed changes to the plane rules is going to put them back on the table again. So I think that's a good rule to come back on. But end of turn 1.
Turn 2, they are continuing to move up. One Stoog, the first 2 Stoogs that are dead there from one whole part of the same platoon, single one that was bailed out, got back in and then ran away. Everything is just budged up a little. I kind of believe I didn't move my mobile wagons because I probably would have shot all his planes down. So they've moved up to try and create an anti-aircraft umbrella, whilst I try for some strange reason to go through the minefield. So I'm shooting away, hitting guys. I'm in position now to get a lot more shots at them, so I might start wearing down the front of that unit, and then maybe have an idea where these reserves are going to come in as well. But that's turn 2 for the Germans, over to the Yanks for their turn 2.
End of American turn 2. So first of all rolled for reserves and got 1 set of reserves on, so rolled a 5, which meant they came in from this corner here. So I went for my tanks coming on here. I could either come up 16 up the side or 16 in the middle here. Come up the side, I wasn't getting any side shots. I was going to be exposed in case of any counter fire. So I decided to move in and try and take some shots at the half-tracks. 8 shots at the half-tracks, leading 6s because of the movement, the stabilisers and the range and the concealment, and got nothing. So they're going to have to try and get in amongst the terrain here to try and take on these Panthers when they start coming through. The other movement I've done is I broke off 2 bazookas from the machine gun platoon, moved them up behind the hedge here just to get into these buildings to start giving the tanks something to think about as well from the side potentially. And because of the danger of the mobile wagons, I could potentially have got 1 half-track under the template, but considering I was going to get 5 half-tracks shooting at me, or more than that, 7 half-tracks shooting at me, it wasn't worth the risk, so I've just kept them out of the way at the moment. So the end of American turn 2.
So German turn 3, I moved my half-tracks back out of the way after debussing infantry into this terrain, so the infantry have got a good bit of cover there so they can start approaching the enemy. I tried to blitz my Stoogs across to here and they failed, so I just left them where they were. If they could have got 6 shots down there, might have done a bit of damage, as 3 shots isn't really worth it. Over here I tried to blitz a Panzer platoon, just moving them generally away from the threat of the bazookas. They got a 1, so they failed. Did a bit of shooting, and the other platoon did a bit of shooting. One of them fired up through the gap between the factories and managed to get a 6, so hit and destroyed a 76mm. The other ones keep peppering this platoon with hits, but failing my firepower, so otherwise there'll be a few less bases. And the Gems are kind of in a wee knot here. I've got to try and make progress, and I'm not sure how that's going to happen, to be honest. So over to the Yanks for their turn 3.
So the end of American turn 3. So first of all, there was nothing to do any checks against, so I rolled for reserves. I got my priests on, so they came on the back table edge, so I'll just put them up behind the hill, because next turn I can start bombarding using the platoon leaders as spotters for that unit. So it was about movement, so I had 2 movements on my agenda. I wanted to get my tanks into this building so I could get some cover and start taking out these mobile wagons. I want to get rid of those first of all so I can get my plane back into the action here again. But as you can see, I've got 2 bailed out tanks, and the tank that did make it in, because of the penalties, was hitting on 6s and failed to hit. So that didn't really work out at all. The only one I managed to do is get my 2 bazookas into the building. So I've got 2 bazookas now up on the top floor. They've opened up on the mobile wagons, but only managed to bail one, which is a bit of a disaster, because I think everyone's going to come back and try and take out those 2 bazookas next turn. But I'm going for the mobile wagons because I want to get the planes back on again. That's what's stopping my plane at the moment, which didn't come on this turn. I didn't roll enough to get the plane on, so I end of American turn 3.
So German turn 4. I moved my half tracks over a little bit to try and get hits on the bazookas. I never got the bailed out mobile wagon back in. Everything else pretty much stayed still, but I managed to get a blitz with the Stoogs. So they got 6 shots down the line and managed to get the ordinary 75 Sherman that was sticking out a little bit at the back. The other one, it just got clobbered by, the 76 got clobbered by Panthers and died. And then there was a couple of hits on those infantry there. They won't die, they won't feel the save, or I won't pass my firepower. And then these guys, the 2 bazooka guys, took something like, it must have been at least 15 hits. There was 8 for one platoon alone, and they managed pretty much all the saves, I think, if not all the saves. So they're still alive. So it'll be American turn 4. Next we'll see whether those bazookas can do anything heroic.
So the end of American turn 4. So going in order then, took a last man's check on the unit here, but he successfully saved that, so he stayed on. Got my last reserves on, and they've come on in this corner, so they're going to come round through the town to have a go at the tanks, and failed to get a plane on this turn as well. So that was the starting step. Moving on to the movement step, I kept the tank where he was because we were going to take 2 shots anyway. He actually took shots but never got any hits up the road. He then tried to shoot and scoot and failed that as well, so he's a bit out in the open now for any return fire, but he's a jumbo, so hopefully okay. Opened up with the mortars, so I'll remove the gun to ground, and they could only really go for the unit inside the building here. Enough hits to form a pin, but nothing killed in there. So the next I decided to open up with artillery from the priests onto a whole barrage of mixture of vehicles in the middle here. So I managed to kill a mobile wagon, bail a mobile wagon, and bail a Panther.
And that was pretty much down to time on target.
Managed to do that. The 2 bazookas that managed to survive the shots from the previous turn and opened fire, I managed to do a double bail, which he then failed a check on, and so destroyed the second mobile wagon. So I'm hoping that if I get the test right next turn, no mobile wagons will disappear, then I can get the plane back on again. So a little bit better that turn. Hopefully the mobile wagons will disappear, I can get a plane on from the next turn, and we can get right into the thick of things.
So German turn 5. So first of all I managed to get my bailed mobile wagon back in, didn't get the Panther back in, but I meant the mobile wagons could get a shift on and get away from the danger zone and keep the anti-aircraft umbrella at least in existence. Everything else is squeezing into this suicide zone here, but I've got no real choice. I can't really hurt the jumbo unless I move Panthers out, and if I move the Panthers out I'll lose all momentum. Infantry I've moved up, did some shooting. I'm not doing any assaulting because I'll probably get slaughtered, and I need to keep myself within, try and keep within 8 inches of that objective. That's what I'm heading for. So it's just a big massive lump in here that's not going anywhere. So over to the Americans.
End of American turn 5. I've never had any more reserves. My ambush is still sat off the table because there was nothing for actually, with the guns. I wanted to wait and see if I get any side shots, but nothing materialised. So I had the unit last stand because he was on his own here, but he managed to keep that, so he's still down the table. I managed to roll for a plane, so that was great as well. So then it was movement, so I continued my artillery, sort of my infantry up round the back, coming into the fray here, and I decided to move my machine guns off the hill as well to come and give some extra support into the unit in the middle here. It was then really about the artillery, so I started with the mortars first of all, and I shot the mortars towards the back lighter armoured vehicles and managed to bail one of the mobile wagons. I then took the priests onto sort of roughly the same target area as well, really conscious about the anti-aircraft fire from here, managed to bail out the second one. So what that effectively meant was there was no anti-aircraft fire from a plane to come in for the third template weapon, and this was ranged on sort of bigger tanks towards the front. And as you can see, I've just been so lucky with the dice rolls. Managed to kill.
You hit 3 and killed 2 and bailed 1, and then a half track as well.
Half track as well, so amazing from that as well. I then took a shot from the last remaining bazooka into the bail, but failed to do the damage there as well. So I think it was the momentum of the dice rolls, bailing out the anti-aircraft, allowing the aircraft not to be shot down to take the shots, and for some reason the aircraft has come back into its own again in this game, most definitely.
Okay guys, German turn 6, I'm just going to call it because I've not been able to kill anything the whole game. I've killed 1 base infantry, a couple of tanks, but they're not really the important thing in this game. It's just infantry, and to give you an example, these guys in here in 1 turn alone took about 15 hits and never failed to save. I've only killed 1 bazooka guy, killed none of them, so I think it's time to call it quits. The aircraft did a hell of a lot in this game, but to be honest it was only because I couldn't roll above a 2. From 5 out of my 6, I think 5 out of 7 saves against the aircraft I rolled a 2 or less. So it probably shows the aircraft in too good a light, but I think the fact that it's got anti-tank 4 means it's worth taking from now. I was hoping to swing around here and just do cross checks, hopefully get over and then start clobbering into the side here, but as there's no Americans dead yet, it isn't going to get anywhere. This was always going to be a tough one for the Panzer Brigade. It's really for destroying tanks, but it needed to get brought out and tried under version 4. I can try it again against tanks in another game and see how it does, but against these guys in any version I think it probably wouldn't win. Anyway, Brian, what do you think about the Americans?
Yeah, I mean, I've just played about the last minute with this list just to try a little bit of, mix it up a wee bit. So I wanted to have a bit of artillery, a plane and some tanks. So it was a little coming together of 2 or 3 different lists I've got to see how it worked. The tanks, I think I used the tanks wrong. They should have come up around the side and kept harassing from the side or out of line of sight. So my jumbo, expensive, as I think all American players will agree, but he managed to survive. But I'm not sure if the tank's done a great job, but it's just the way I played them. I'm not sure if I've been lulled into a false sense of victory with the plane because I was very lucky in the dice rolls. But
if I'd have got my armour saves like your infantry saves, you wouldn't have killed a single tank.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be taking a plane.
So I used to always bring a plane. Used to like my plane. I dropped it when the sort of interim rule changes came in. Now the rule changes have changed again. I've tried it again, and I think the plane most definitely. As with anything in America, you bazooka up because the bazooka is what's really stopping some of the tanks coming in and a bit of worry there as well. So a bit of a balanced list, but it seemed to do well. Was there too much artillery? Well, obviously not. I mean, there was 3 template weapons and it done the damage at the end. One of them being mobile, which is the first time I've used the priest for a long time. Just so they can move around if need be or direct fire shots when required. So I was quite happy overall considering I pulled the list together quite lastminute.com. But yeah, an enjoyable game. It's still hard when you're dug in, you've got a lot of stuff coming towards you. I think if this had been my usual 3rd armoured, with my tanks on here, I think it would have been a completely different game.
I'd have killed more tanks, but your Super Persian would have wiped me out.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting. It's just to keep trying the rules, trying the changes and see what
we need to double check the firepower in the bombs as well, because we were using it as a 1-up, I think. I don't know if that's right. But we'll double check that. If it's only a 2-up, the chance of that we still kill everything anyway, because the 2-up's pretty good.
So it was a good enjoyable game, just to keep trying the real changes, and we'll keep trying that and then coming back and seeing what we think works and what doesn't work at the moment.
So that's going to be an 8-1 to the Yanks, because I've called it there. I could play on and just try and gain a point by waiting for him to run away, but he might not run away, and that wouldn't be much of a sporting thing to do. So that's an 8-1 to the Yanks.